by the way, I'd like to remind us all that, you go back to Kanner and Asperger, the two original founders, they both talked about this super high intelligence. Kanner, talked about the all of these children come from prodigious lines of intelligence. Asperger actually IQ tested all his, and he had 117 cases or whatever, and he IQ tested all of his and had the mean IQ at 120 when he was able to kind of get in there and actually look at that. But when we started, Silberman's book came out and really discovered that they shared the same research associate and that we were talking about the same type of kid all along, that there weren't these two really different populations. But we kind of walked away from that topic of intelligence, partly because Bettelheim came along and criticized the working moms for causing the autism, right? So anyway, it's kind of an interesting position because this is the first time in probably, 60 years that anybody's really talking about the latent or hidden intelligence in autism. And I think it's an important topic. And again, I think your film so it's a lot more than just saying, okay, here's some disabled people who have risen above their disability to become talented in this one kind of area. It's acknowledging that underneath of all of this disabling condition that we call autism, especially in what might be a more injured variant of autism, that we're actually getting finally to some maybe deep, deep intellectual ability that is hidden. And if you think about that, that's kind of a crime that we're missing it in so many individuals. It's kind of like reminds me of the days when we thought individuals with cerebral palsy were all intellectually disabled, right? Until we got some of them could communicate and we realized they had potentially average and sometimes gifted IQs underneath of this very physical condition. And I think it's time in autism that we start really considering autism in that same lens, that there is potentially very high intelligence. Well, what you're saying is that this, in spite of I don't care how they test out an IQ test, look at the brilliance that we're seeing through this work.